Hey, my Facebook friends, how are you doing today? Robert Imbriali here, real excited to spend some time with you today. Actually, more excited than ever to spend time with a very, very special friend, someone I've known now for at least a decade, who is a real business guru, really somebody who knows how to motivate business owners and really how to direct them and guide them. And I'm going to tell you one of the things that she told me very, very early on when I first met her. And it's stuck with me forever. Who is Terri Levine? And one of the things that she taught me very early on, she said, you don't have to, when you work with me, you don't have to go out and hire anybody else. And I said, well, why not? Why wouldn't I want somebody to help me with SEO? Why wouldn't I want somebody to help me with, marketing copy or anything like that? I can get it all from one place. And she says, because I spend the money. I'm the one who goes to all these seminars to learn how to do all these things. So if you hire me, you're getting the benefit of someone who's been there and done that and gone to all the seminars, learned all the knowledge, taken the best of the best and can deliver it. And I was always so impressed with that because so many of us, business coaches and consultants and stuff, we get to be really good at one area, but really are we good at everything? Well, very few of us are, right? A lot of people are what we call one-trick ponies. Terri Levine certainly is not that. She is actually brilliant in so many areas, and I am so happy to have her here today. We've actually been in studio. I'm going to tell you a little secret. We've been in studio hanging out here for a little while and chatting, and we're just like old friends who haven't seen each other in a while, so it's really kind of fun. And we're going to be talking about her book, Turbocharge. I'm going to show you her book here real quick, and we're going to talk about it because it is a life-changing book for those who have read it. I'm sort of partway through it. I haven't actually gotten through the whole thing yet, but life-changing book, and life-changing not just for the people who read it, but for Terri herself, who also wrote it. So without further ado, let's bring on my good friend, Terri. Terri, welcome.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
It's good to be here. I'm excited to be back with you.
I'm so happy to have some time to spend with you and want to learn more about your book and what you've been up to. And, I have a lot of friends who know that you and I have a relationship. And every time they see stuff, they always send it to me. Hey, Rob, did you see what Terri did today?
That's nice to hear.
Yeah,
Thank
I don't
you.
really miss a whole lot of the things that you do because a lot of stuff comes across on my plate. So it's really a blessing in many ways to have you here. And I'm just so thrilled to have you.
I'm thrilled. I love this man. I love you. It's been
I love you too,
a great
so
journey
much.
that
Yeah.
we've had. So it's awesome to be here.
It's been, more than a decade. I think 2006, maybe earlier than that.
I think it was even before that. Yeah, I do.
Wow. I don't know. I don't want to start counting years because I start to feel old, and I don't want to feel old.
We're ageless. We're ageless.
We're ageless.
We're timeless.
We're the ageless beauties. Right? But to have you here in San Diego is a gift.
That's great for me.
And
Thank
today,
you.
I really want to get into the Turbocharge book. I really want to have, a conversation with you about this book. Sort of let's start out with what caused you to write this book, because this is not a marketing book in the traditional sense of the books that you've written in the past. I know you've written a lot of books. This is book number 19, you told me.
It is number 19.
I almost fell off my chair when I heard that. Book number 19.
I love to write. What can I say? I love to write. I have a lot more books in me. I'm working on 4 right now.
4? Mm-hmm. So we're going to be at book 30 before you know it. We're going to have a party when you hit that.
Okay, all right. I'll hold you to that. It'd be fun.
You have to come to San Diego and we'll play. It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, you got
Absolutely.
it. You got it.
So let's get into it. Let's talk about Turbocharge, because the book is, like I said, it's a departure from the normal stuff that you've written. And I know this one is very near and dear to your heart. So
it is.
Fill us in a little. We want to know.
Well, you said the word hearts.
That's the word, huh?
I'll tell you where this book came from, and I think it's come from kind of a long journey for me. I worked in my own businesses for many years. I worked in corporate America for many years. And I've worked with entrepreneurs now as a business consultant for 20 years. Wow, talk about a long time. And I would just come to recognize how many people do business without heart. They're not bringing authenticity, consciousness, and heart. And it was disturbing me. It was really on my mind. I would go into a local business.
Was it for you, and it's maybe the same for me, was it more that you're starting to see some of these corporations sort of nameless, faceless approach to business, and they sort of forget about the fact that they're serving customers?
100% forget about the fact they're serving customers. They're not even serving their employees. I don't know if they're serving their corporate missions or visions. It's all about, especially after 2008, we need to make money, we need to hit the bottom line with no regard to who their employees are and to who the people are that they're serving, just what you said.
Right.
So you know me, I get riled up, right? It riled
you can
me
be riled.
up.
It's okay.
Terri gets riled. I got riled up, and I wanted to bring some kind of heart movement into business. I didn't know what it was. There was an it for me. And I don't know, over a year ago, I was in a room with a potential publisher and a group of people, and I described all of this feeling, and the publisher said, "You're a Heart-Repreneur." And it resonated, like completely. I'm like, that's it, bringing heart. Now I want to explain, this is important. You and I talked about this earlier, but I want to explain. Heart-Repreneur isn't just heart with an entrepreneur. It's everybody who works in a corporation. You want your employees to be entrepreneurial if you're going to be successful. So it goes for companies too. Heart-Repreneur is getting your employees in your company to work with more consciousness, presence, and heart. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I knew you'd say that. I cheated. I knew Robert would say that.
You know me well.
I know you. So, all right, now I have a term, Heart-Repreneur. All right. And I had already in my head known that I was going to take every lesson I ever had in life and put it in a book. And I thought, this is the right book. This is what it's supposed to be. And for me, I feel this passion away from being the guru of coaching, the business mentoring expert, business advice you can take to the bank. No. I want to show you how to transform business with heart, whether it's corporate or individual. And I shared, you read it, I shared everything.
It's the next level for you. It really is in so many ways. And I saw I like to look at people and watch them grow. And over the years, I've seen you just blossom like a flower. It's like there's just more and more and more of you to explore and more to learn. And this book is certainly that. So I can see the feeling of watching a lot of business owners, because I know you've worked with thousands of business owners over the years, and you see familiar patterns. And after a while, it's all the same thing. And we're a little bit tired of the business owners who don't really pay attention to their employees, like you say. But even worse, don't pay attention to their customers or don't properly appreciate their customers. And there's been this heart-centered movement for a long time, but the departure is you're actually applying it to business, where they're just saying, well, it's heart-centered, but there's no money attached.
That's right. That's right. And I want to make that point. There are a lot of people out there talking about heart and consciousness and authenticity. And what I find is that they're not talking about it in the way that I talk about it in Turbocharge. Turbocharge is a serious book to help you make millions of dollars. And I'm not just saying that as a throwaway. I have made, as you know, millions of dollars in several different businesses, many millions. This is how I made them. So I took my own businesses and I dissected them. And then I said, here's everything that I do different than everybody else. That's Turbocharge.
Nice.
Now do it with heart.
Nice. And it's a departure, like you said. I mean, it's not just straight up marketing 101. Would you consider it a higher level? You learn the marketing, you learn how to write sales letters and landing pages and emails and all that, sort of that basic stuff that you do. And then there's this layer above that really comes from the heart-centered space rather than, is it before or is it after? I'm trying to place it in the timeline.
That's a good question. So there are aspects of the book that are the before. You have to have the inner right to have the outer right. And this book gets the inner right. There's a chapter we're just joking about, shut the F up. It's getting your inner right, getting the head to stop talking. So there's inner. And then there's really advanced marketing that nobody else on the planet is doing. Like when I tell you how to become a celebrity or how to become famous in your field, it's not a way anybody else is telling you to do it. And I know how to do it. I've been there, done that. And not just for myself, but I've had over 5,000 clients. I stopped counting after 5,000. We just say Terri's had a lot of clients.
Terri's been busy.
I've been very busy.
We'll just say you've been very busy. You had a lot going on, right?
Definitely.
So, yeah, you're right. It is a before. The before thing, it's true. It's throughout the whole process, isn't it? It's not really, you put the heart stuff in after the fact. It really has to be, it's sort of like making a pie, right? There's some ingredients that need to be there and mixed into the batter all the way through. You can't just throw in the vanilla after the pie's done. You know what I mean?
That's a good analogy, Robert. I like that. It really does have to happen at the same time. So I started a Heart-Repreneur network to teach people how to do this.
I love that.
And I'm teaching them at the same time. They get these daily lessons that are get your inner game right, and then they get this weekly lesson. Here's your outer action. So I really believe it's happening together, synchronously.
You're right, and one of the things that we see a lot in this heart-centered movement is people work really hard on the inner game, and then they fail to take action.
Yes.
I spend a lot of time, following Abraham Hicks and a lot of the people in those audiences. They really want this message. They want this message, but they don't really know how to take it and put it into action on a daily basis.
Well, this is what happened for me. I'm a big Abraham Hicks fan. I've worked with Joe Vitale. I love The Secret, and I wrote a book called Magnetizing. So I definitely believe in the law of attraction. With action. With action. With action. And this is what started to frustrate me. I would speak to audiences around the world, and they would get the law of attraction piece, right? But they wouldn't be in the action. So I would do this exercise at every workshop. I'd say, how many of you really believe in the law of attraction? Everybody, yeah. So we're like 200 powerful, amazing people that believe in it, right? Yes, great. How many of you want $1 million? Yes, great. We are all gonna close our eyes right now. Powerful manifestors, magnetizers that we are, we're gonna have $1 million come through the roof. Do it with me. Close your eyes. And I'd get people closing their eyes. They're trying really hard. I go, okay, open your eyes. Where is it? Who sees it? Who has it? Nobody ever had it. And I do that to prove the point. It bugs me when I see spiritual people, alternative medicine people, they're broke. The majority of the ones I know, I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, I'm very transparent. It's my opinion. Many of the ones I've met are broke, and they're going from conference to conference and book to book and hire a marketing person. Maybe you're my answer. Maybe you're my answer. Let me give you a little bit of money. Help me, please help me. They're desperate. And you know what? You have to have action. You cannot just depend upon a law without action, because that law, if you really look at it, listen to it and study it, it always has action with it. Always. But somehow people got it wrong.
And it's not necessarily the action that maybe we're used to so much. Mm-mm. It's a different kind of action. One of the things that you mentioned I really, really like is this idea that there are so many people who are very spiritual. They are brilliant. I look at them as masters. Yes. And it just breaks my heart to see them without money. Without the money they need to live their life. And I think you and I sort of resonate there, and that's where we have a lot of connection there. Yes. Where we go, this can't be, this is not right to have these people who are so brilliant. I work with chiropractors, a lot of functional medicine people, and these guys can heal, they can cure cancer, they can cure all kinds of diseases, and nobody knows about them.
Yep.
And they're having trouble paying the rent each month, and they're waiting for the money to come. Where's the money to come? And they're leading with their heart. They love people. They love working with people. But either they're not taking the right actions, or there's something going on with them. And I think your book sort of hits the core of that and be able to help people to unlock. Because if you can do that.
When I was writing the book, I was thinking of coaches, consultants, speakers, trainers, authors, all of the wonderful holistic alternative medicine people I've met on my journey. And I was like, this book is for you. I'm talking to you. So you mentioned that I feel different about this book than my others. This book, for me, is so from my heart. Every word of this book, I would sit with, literally, and view and say, can people get it? This message is so important to me. So I feel like no matter how many other books I write, this is the book, and this is the book I want people to have.
And we all have that in our life, right? We all of us as authors, speakers, coaches, we all have that book that has to come out of us. I've got one that you wrote the foreword
yes,
to. It's been sitting on my desk, and it's like, I got to get this thing out. Yes, I have a book coming out.
Yes, make him get it out soon, and I'll make him get it out soon.
That's right. You can be my coach.
I'm doing it.
What's the consequence if I don't get it out, right? That's where we got to start.
We'll let you know
later. Okay. So people who are reading this book, you're getting already early feedback, because the book's only been out, a couple of weeks?
It's only been out a couple of weeks. I think it came out May 22nd, and the next day the publisher called me and said, congratulations. I said, for what? And he said, you're a bestseller in 3 categories. We hadn't promoted the book. I didn't promote it we didn't even know it was out.
Wow. Wow. And that's not name recognition. That's really because I think you're vibrating with the right energy in this book too. When you sent me the preview copy of it, there was an energy that came out of that book. You sent me just a PDF of it to look at over and write testimonial for you and stuff. And there was an energy that was so different than what I'm used to with you. Like, you had marketing, was it Selling Without Selling?
Sell Without Selling.
You had books like that, and they were like, yeah, okay, just more marketing stuff, really good stuff. This one was different, had a different energy, and I'm getting now from you why. It's like this book really came from your heart, right? Yeah. And there's the connection point. I mean, that's the core message of the book really is if you lead with the heart, things are different than if you lead with your pocketbook.
That's the whole thing. And or with your head, remember, shut the F up. It's true. When I was writing this book, I said over and over again, don't go into traditional marketing. Go into what you do and teach that's different, because this is what people miss and this is what they need. And it was funny because somebody said to me, you told all these secrets, you shouldn't have told them. I'm like, abundance. I want other people to be ridiculously successful. Am I going to hold back the secrets? No. That's why this book is special. And you're right, all from the heart, all of it.
That's a good point you brought up, and people often tell me that's like, I don't want to give away my best stuff. I don't want to give away my best stuff. And you think about, we talked about this earlier, how they market movies.
Yes.
You look at the movie trailers, are they giving you the worst scenes, the scenes that ended up on the cutting room floor, or are they giving you some of the best scenes, the funniest lines, right? And it's the same thing. It's like, if you are going to promote something, you're going to build a business, you've got to lead with the best you have to offer. And if you do that, I think people are attracted to that. And the other piece to that is you have to recognize you're not a one-trick pony. None of us are. If you've only have one message and you only have one piece, you're not really in business. You've got to have more than that.
You have to have a lot more than that. And we were chatting earlier about giving your best stuff away, right? So I come from abundance thinking. So I'll give anything away. I mean, literally, I give so much stuff away. Sometimes, my husband, you've met many times, is like, don't give that away. I'm like, no, I'm giving it away, okay? And the other thing, what's my best stuff? Is this interview my best stuff? Yesterday's interview, tomorrow's? How do I know? The best is yet to come.
I'll tell you, this is your best stuff.
Well, it is because I'm here with you. It's my best stuff.
Yeah, so don't be afraid of it. And how do people respond to that? Because, in my experience, people are like, oh, no, I can't give this away, I can't give that away. And they hold a lot close to them. And they let out these little pieces, and they sort of tease you along, get more money out of their customers, And you end up, customers end up paying. And at the end of the day, they feel like they haven't gotten very much value at all.
Well, this is the problem, and this is what coaches, consultants, speakers, trainers, and authors, I want you to hear, because this is very, very passionate message for me. Stop giving away junk and then trying to funnel people, funnel. My book is all about anti-funnel. To me, a funnel is a manipulative form of selling. It's not authentic. It's not heart-centered at all. I'm going to get you in my funnel and give you some little trinket of something for $7, $9, and then you want my other stuff? Upsell you here. Oh, you got that? Upsell you here. I don't like it. This is me. I don't like it. Give away your very best stuff. Bring people in. Attract them to you. Let them go, oh my gosh, Rob, what you just gave me, it's tremendous. I love it. They'll ask you for more. It's reverse marketing. You will make way more money. You'll have so much fun. You'll be in integrity. You'll be in your heart, and people will flock to you. That's the way I do business.
I love the fact that you're anti-funnel. I am too. And I'm also anti-drip marketing. Boy, what a horrible term that is. I'm going to drip on my potential customers. Ooh.
Sounds awful, and it is awful.
Sounds awful. It's like I would never do that.
No.
And
the other thing I have to say, being a social media expert and a love person of Facebook, stop going to Facebook to promote stuff. Stop it. I see this all the time. You don't sell on Facebook. It's fact, and so I say it plain and simple, and you're aware, I have made over $1 million on Facebook without ads and never selling. I give value, my best stuff, and people message me, or they go to my website, or they call. That's how you sell today. Not sending out email blasts and funneling and teasing people on Facebook and then trying to get them to buy from PM me if you want to buy my program. What? No. Be in a relationship with people.
See, that I like a lot. I like that concept. I'm a big relationship guy that I am. I love that concept so much. And you see, I think a lot of the inexperienced marketers, the network marketing types who aren't really into marketing a whole lot will do that. And they're like, buy my makeup, buy my green drink, buy my this, buy my that. And it comes across as it's icky. It's not the place for it. It's not the time to be doing it. It's almost like, it almost has a feeling like, and I'll use a crazy analogy for you, but you'll understand. It almost feels like if I were at a wedding and I started selling what I'm selling to the guests at the wedding, how would that be received?
Wouldn't invite you to the next family affair. But that's a good point. Now, especially think about the people we're talking about, spiritual, alternative medicine, healers, whatever they might be. Now they're putting you in a funnel. How conscious and loving and authentic is that? And I really put that out there because a lot of them are my clients. And they'll come to me with funnels or messages that they want to put on Facebook or whatever. I've seen their Facebook and I'm like, here you are as this loving, authentic healer, whatever you might be, spiritual person. And then you're funneling people and telling them to PM you and you're advertising and pushing and marketing to them. It's not logical. The same with boosting ads or sponsored ads. Who are you reaching out to? You don't even know those people. Why would they be interested in you? That's not how you build relationships.
We lost the camera.
Okie dokie.
One of our cameras went out. It
Hey,
just decided to cut out on us. Anyway.
There we are. We're back.
There we are there. We're there.
Back,
But
we're back.
That one's not working. Keep them entertained for a moment. I'll find
All
out
right,
what's up with this guy.
I'll say as Rob's fixing all that, you know, I am very, very passionate, like almost ridiculously passionate about how you market, and I call it reverse marketing. And reverse marketing is how do you get people to raise their hand and come to you? And the best way to do that is to create value, 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 value. And the more times you give people value, 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 they get to experience you, they get to try you on, and eventually, if they resonate with you, they'll let you know. They'll raise their hand, they'll fill out a web form, they'll message you on Facebook, they'll call your company. But the way that you guys are marketing, you know who you are if you're watching. Don't do it. It's icky, it's yucky, it's not heart-centered, and you may make some money, because I've had clients that came to me going, well, I made some money. It'll stop. Just trust me, because people will not resonate with you, period.
Well, the other thing that it brings up is very disconnected. So the idea early on in internet marketing was let's automate as much as possible, right? So that's where the idea of funnels comes from. It really from the 90s, early 2000s, we were into internet marketing, and it's like, wow, we can do these autoresponders. We can do an autoresponder series. We can do, and you know, eventually that morphed into these funnels. But it's very disconnected, very cold, and I find that the emails don't necessarily work very well. Although in theory it looks like a great idea, it feels like a great idea, but it's disconnected, and it's not how you want to be relating with the people that you want to connect with. You're doing something excellent now with Facebook Live. I mean, the relationship you have with your followers, I call them friends and followers. I guess the best way to refer to them on Facebook is changed dramatically because you're using this new tool.
I am a huge fan, first of all, of Facebook, and Facebook Live it's the best thing, period. If you guys aren't using it, or gals, I just trained a whole group to use it a couple weeks ago. I'm teaching more people. Use it, use it, use it. Don't be nervous, don't be shy, don't anything. Just get on and talk and share. You don't have to come prepared with content. You know your stuff. Prepare. Talk to the people who are your friends and followers. Give them value. By the way, just don't get on and go, look, you know, I just dyed my hair, or whatever it might be. Value. I think I've said value a few times.
But you can do that. You could actually do that. Look, I've just dyed my hair.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
what it looks
absolutely.
like.
I mean, you've seen me. I get on there. Most of the time, I don't have makeup on. You guys watch me. You've seen me in many different ways. I'll get on from the gym. I'll get on, oh, something hits me I want to do on Facebook Live. And I may talk about my hair, or I may talk about how peeved I am at something, or whatever. You know what? It's getting people to know you. Who are you? Do I want to be in relationship with you? Reverse marketing. Do I want to raise my hand and say, let's do business together?
Right. And when you build a relationship, that becomes a lot easier. There's, you know, the selling without selling concept really comes into play here, because that's what we're doing. If you build a relationship, there's no real need for you to sell, because they'll seek you out when they're hungry and they need what you've got to offer. They're going to seek you out. And all you really need to do is be there often enough. So, but people will say, oh, I'm going to do a Facebook Live. Or in the old days, remember, they would send an email. And I would say, how'd that email work out for you? Well, I don't know yet. What do you mean you don't know yet? When you sent an email out? About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? You know, if you didn't have the response in 15, 20 minutes, nothing happened.
Not going to happen.
Exactly. And I think the idea is that if you're doing this kind of marketing, this kind of relationship building, you know, how close are you to friends that you don't see on a regular basis or don't communicate with on a regular basis?
Good question.
You know?
Great question.
After a while, not so much.
You brought up email marketing. So I used to use tons of email marketing. I've been in a couple of books of kind of famous internet marketers and had my chapters in those books or my interviews. So I was very, very good at internet marketing. And it would be email. We barely use email in my company. Barely. It is not relationship heart to heart. And so let's say that you're out there saying you're conscious, you're present, you're spiritual, you're, I don't know, whatever, in touch with your audience, you're a Heart-Repreneur, and then you're sending out emails? I'm not. Instead of clicking from place to place, Joel Bauer said this, you know I'm a big fan. Instead of clicking from place to place, connect with people face to face. Facebook Live, face.
I like that a lot. That's really good.
It was one of my favorite Joel Bauer sayings.
That's a Joel Bauer quote.
Thank you, Joel.
We have to put it in the Facebook feed here, let people know about that.
He's awesome.
When I first moved to California in 2000, it was January 2nd, 2000. For those of you who want to know the exact date, that's the date. I waited for Y2K to pass. Nothing, no planes didn't fall out of the sky. Everything was good. So I left Chicago and came here. One of the things that I was doing with email is I created a very small list of people, and I was sharing personal updates on how my transition into this new life was. And the readership was 100%.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And there was maybe 100, 200 people. It wasn't a big list, but it was a really personal experience. So there is a way to use those tools in a personal way. A lot of people make the mistake, especially with email, that they feel like they're broadcasting to the world. And they'll start the email, hello, everybody. You're not the president. You're not standing behind a podium. You're sending an email that one person is going to be reading at one time. You might say, no, my list is 20,000 people. Yeah, but only one person's reading it at a time. You have 20,000 single one people. You know, they're not all in the same room reading at the same time. And you miss the relationship building. And it's really easy to do, and you see it constantly with email. So many corporations, oh my gosh, do they miss this? I mean, the emails are written in the third person, they're distant, and I read them and I, what? They don't know me, they don't want to know me.
Right.
They want my money and that's it, move on. It's just like, it's horrible.
So I have two examples for you. It's both in my email this week. Hello, friends. A, I'm not your friend.
Number one.
And B, I'm one person. Hello, friends. Who are you speaking to? When you write an email, speak to one person, whoever your avatar is. If you're in your head and you go, my avatar is a woman between 25 and 35 who is trying to get pregnant and hasn't been able to, and she lives in the Detroit area, speak to her. Maybe you name her. Maybe she's Melissa, and you write your email as if you're writing only to Melissa. And then the second one that I get is from somebody else who sends an email that was so hard to understand. I'm going to be doing this, and then this is happening, and then next week this, but this is also going on. I was like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me in your email, so I just delete you.
In other words, get to the point. I have a lot of those emails that come into, and they just sort of ramble and ramble and ramble, and by the time they get to the important part, I've already deleted the email, just like you did.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're not getting my attention here. Let's talk a little bit more about the Heart-Repreneur, and then I want to let our Facebook audience know that we're going to let you guys go, and Terri and I are going to sit here for a little while, and we're going to continue our interview, and we're going to post this interview up on the marketingnetwork.tv for our members. If you want to join, have a look there, the marketingnetwork.tv, and we'll put the URL up there when we get to that point. But I just want to finish on the one point with the Heart-Repreneur book, because the Turbocharge book. There is a reason above and beyond marketing for this book that people, even if they're not in business, even if you're just considering being business, even if your business is just a network marketing, I'm not trying to diminish it, not just a network marketing business, even if you are doing network marketing, hey, that's great, that's wonderful. But if you're a professional, even if you're an employee, not in business, there's value. And talk a little bit about that.
Thank you for noticing that. And you know, I'm going to corporations now and I'm speaking about the book, and I'm doing consulting work in corporations on how to turbocharge as a Heart-Repreneur. This book is how to transform your business, and I'm going to just be honest, it's your life. It is your life.
Yes. Yes.
When I wrote this book, I brought all of my tools from coaching, consulting, clinical psychology, and working with people for 30-something years. I brought all of that. I know how to make your life better. I made my own life better, and I've helped make thousands of people's lives better. This is a great book to help you in business of any kind and to help you in your life. It's both.
Absolutely. I just want to bring the book up one more time here. Let me get the close-up shot here. There we go. Yeah, you know, you guys have noticed I'm doing my own switching today. That's okay, because you know that's the way it is. This is the book Turbocharge, available on Amazon.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble, pretty much everywhere. It's also a Kindle edition.
There's a Kindle edition as well.
You guys are like me, you love the Kindle edition, but I'm going to have Terri sign my copy because this is my personal copy, and I don't see a signature here yet, so I'm going to get that when we get off camera. So the book is called Turbocharge. Highly recommend it. My good friend Terri Levine, one of probably her best book yet. I'm not going to say ever because there's a chance that she's going to come back and write something even better, but for right now, this is the best book yet. Okay, like I said, I'm going to let you guys go. We really appreciate you being here and watching this live. Some of you are watching it live. I'm taking a peek here. And some of you will watch the replay. Thank you so much for doing that. And you want to watch the rest of it, it is going to be up on the marketingnetwork.tv website. Probably it'll take a couple of days before it gets there, but it will be there. And that's for our members. You'll be able to watch the whole thing. Terri and I are going to continue our conversation offline. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.